It is very important, Naledi, as you know, that Belgium is part of the EU community or the European Union. And therefore, you know that the European Union is our largest trading partner. Belgium in particular, before COVID-19, many Belgians visited South Africa. And also during the COVID-19, you know that Belgium, because they have many pharmaceutical companies, they did help South Africa and by extension the African continent, because the president was leading a campaign to ensure that we are able to address the challenges of COVID-19 on the continent. They assisted South Africa to establish a pharmaceutical company that is manufacturing vaccines, and therefore during this visit, these are some of the issues that the two countries will discuss. Perhaps let's take a listen at what Minister Naledi Pandor said to me yesterday when I asked her about this visit.
Good relations, very good trade relations, which we would like to expand significantly. We have excellent people-to-people exchange. Before COVID, quite a large component of tourists to South Africa came from Belgium.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting one there, that a large amount of tourists coming to South Africa were from Belgium. So clearly, Sophie, Belgium is no stranger to Africa. Do you think the role of Belgium during the colonial era, though, will come up in this particular visit?
I think it will, particularly when President Ramaphosa is having private discussion with the Belgian King, Philippe. You know that it was King Leopold who really conducted atrocities in the Congo, and 10 million Africans were killed. You know that Africans are still demanding reparation, but also an apology. He did, the family has visited the DRC on many occasions, but they were not so upfront in terms of extending that apology. We know that as we speak, the DRC is still battling because the impact of the colonial rule is still affecting that country, and conflict in that country, particularly in the eastern part of the DRC, is continuing with the M23 rebels fighting with government forces. And therefore, this important country on the continent, in the Great Lakes region, that can feed the entire continent, but also in terms of the Inga Dam, that can be able to electrify the entire continent, is battling to find stability and development. Let's take a listen at what Minister Naledi Pandor, who has just returned from the DRC, said about the situation in the DRC. And all this, you can really blame the colonial masters.
Has the objective of silencing the guns, that we will play an increasing role in seeking a solution. We were in a trilateral meeting between ourselves, Angola and the DRC, and we talked about peace and security and its importance to Africa.
And of course, it can't be forgotten just how important of a role South Africa plays in that silencing of the guns that Minister Pandor speaks of, Sophie. But let's talk a little bit about the activities that are planned during this state visit.
Well, clearly, we were hoping that there is going to be a press conference, and we were hoping that we'll be able to ask President Ramaphosa on current global issues that I think he is going to discuss with the king. But unfortunately, it looks like because it's a monarchy and we are not going to have an opportunity to do that. But let's wait and see. What I do know is that on the margins of this state visit, the business forum will continue, where business will engage from both countries in terms of what needs to be done to strengthen the relations, but to increase the trade volume. You know that when you talk about these big Western powers or big countries, the country that tends to benefit is a country from the West. And I know for the fact that in terms of trade volume, you'll find that Belgium is benefiting, and you have to address the issue of trade imbalances. And also, we expect him to visit CSIR, where he is going to look at those facilities that I spoke about, South Africa's quest to be a manufacturing hub of the vaccines. And then tomorrow he will be in Cape Town and he will continue with the visit.